Alrighty, 3.3. For this lesson, we're going to graph a system of linear inequalities. Okay, so what we're going to be given is 2, 3, 4, some type of system of inequalities. Okay, so in this case, we got x plus y is less than or equal to 6, and x plus y is greater than negative 8. So let's go ahead. Let's start with this x plus y is less than or equal to 6. Okay, just like we did in the last unit. We graph them. Okay, best way to graph them when they are in standard form. Find that x-intercept, find that y-intercept. Okay, and in this case, it is 6, 0, and 0, 6 for your x and y intercept. Okay, so 6, 0, 0, 6. Okay, and then we have to remember we have solid and dashed lines in this case. In this case, it is solid due to the fact that it is less than or equal to. Okay, now we still need to do that test point. Okay, so 0, 0. 0 is less than or equal to 6. Therefore, this is a true statement. But now, since it's a system, I'm not going to go ahead and shade it quite yet. All I'm going to know is that this is the side that I would shade for that inequality. Now, when I move to the x plus y is greater than negative 8, okay, we got that x-intercept and y-intercept again. Okay, in this case, it's negative 8, 0, 0, negative 8. So negative 8, 0, 0, negative 8. In this case, we got a dashed line due to it being just greater than. Okay, and then doing test point again for 0, 0. 0 is greater than negative 8. That is true also, so we would shade above. Okay, so now that you notice both arrows are in a specific area, and this area that it's in is in between the two lines. Okay, so again, the shaded area is where we find a solution to the system. And again, so I can pick any ordered pair in that shaded area and I plug it into both inequalities, I will get a true statement. Okay, just like when we plugged them 0, 0 in, those are both true. So that's where our solutions to the system are. Okay, the next one I'll do a little bit different. This is the arrow way. That's typically how I like to do it. But for this one, we're going to do both shadings and then find the overlap. Okay, so let's do the first one in blue. Okay, x minus 2y less than or equal to 3. Okay, so we got our x-intercept, y-intercept, x-intercept, x equals 3, so 3, 0. And then the next one, this one's a little bit tougher due to it being, we got negative 2y equals 3. Okay, so then our y-intercept is 0, negative 3 halves. Okay, so negative 1.5. So go ahead, plot those points. We got 3, 0, 0, negative 3 halves, which is negative 1.5. And we need a solid line for this one. Ooh, that's not a very good line at all. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and check that point. We can use 0, 0. So 0 is less than or equal to 3. That is true. Okay, so then we would shade above. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit different. Last time we did arrows. This time I'm going to do the shading for both, and then we're going to actually look for the overlap of the two inequalities. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next one in green. Okay, this one's nice. It's in slope-intercept form, so we got a y-intercept of negative 4, 0, negative 4, and a slope of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so and then this one is going to be a dashed line due to it being just greater than. Okay, we can use that 0, 0 still. Okay, now it's a little different though, because 0 is greater than 3 times 0 minus 4, or 0 is greater than negative 4, which is also true. Okay, so then for this one, we would shade this side. But now you notice that there's an area where it's just green. What we're going to look for is where it is overlapped, where the green and blue. Okay, so in red here is going to be our solution. Okay, so I'm going to the area where it's both green and blue, which is that area there. Okay, so again, the overlap in that case is where we find the solutions to our system of inequalities. So again, I can plug in 0, 0. We got true statements there, which is in the overlapped area of the two inequalities. Okay. Now, if you do it this route, things can get a little bit messy. So if you do this on test or quiz, whatever, what I want you to do is point to that area of where the solutions are. Okay. Just because I see shading in both, for both inequalities, I want you to tell me which area is actually where we find the solutions. Okay, so a system of 3 now. Okay, same idea. Let's go ahead and do this one in blue. X equals, okay, x is less than 0. That is a vertical line, okay? We're cutting the x-axis in half and we're going through 0. So this is just the y-axis. And since it's greater than or less than or equal to, it is a solid line. Okay, and then we got to think less than, values where we find less than, that is to the left. Okay, so when we think about our answer in the end, it better be in quadrant 2 or 3. Okay, now moving to our y is greater than or equal to. Okay, that is a horizontal line going through 0, and since it's greater than or equal to, we got a solid line, and since it's greater, we're looking above the line. Okay, so our answer will be somewhere in quadrant 2. 1 second here. No, I'm making a video. We'll do this third one in red. Okay, so x minus y, we get that x and y intercept. And x-intercept will be negative 2, 0, while the y-intercept will be 0, 2. All right, so now we have our 2 points. We got negative 2, 0, 0, 2. And since it's greater than or equal to, we will have a solid line. Okay, and then doing our test point using 0, 0 again. 0 is greater than or equal to negative 2. That is true. So we want to be shaded in this area, okay, which leaves just that little triangle in there where it's all together in quadrant 2. Okay, so our shading now in this case will be just this little bit of triangle. Okay, so breaking it off again, our blue line, we had to be to the left of that. Green line, we had to be above of it, above that line, so leaving us with the rest quadrant 2. And then we had to be below the red line, which just leaves us with that little sliver of that triangle in the coordinate plane. Okay, last one here. Okay, we got x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, just a little bit different. We got that x is equal to 0, solid line due to it being greater than or equal to. Since it's greater, we're going to the right. So our final shading will be somewhere in quadrant 1 and 4. Okay, green one here, slope-intercept form. So y-intercept of negative 1, slope of 2, up 2 over 1. Okay, just greater than, so we're going to have a dashed line. Okay, and then checking a point. We can use 0, 0. It's a little bit tougher because it's close, but since it's not on the line, we can still use it. 0 is greater than 2 times 0 minus 1, or 0 is greater than negative 1, which is a true statement. So we need to be above. Now, you can go ahead, draw the arrows over here, but I know that the overall shading in the end won't be there. So I'm just going to do it in the area where it will be shaded. So as of right now, the only possible shading is that little triangle in quadrant 1. Okay. Now we still need to do the third inequality. We got plus 3 as our y-intercept, slope of 2. Okay, greater than or equal or less than or equal to, so solid line. Okay, so our two possibilities as of right now, it's either going to be this area shaded or this area? Okay, all depends on where that true statement lies for the red equation, red inequality. So 0, 0, 0 is less than or equal to 2 times 0 plus 3. 0 is less than or equal to 3, which is a true statement. So we want to be below. Okay, so where I'm seeing the blue, the red, and the green is this area here. And that is where we will find solutions to our system of inequalities. Okay, so again, there's two different routes you can go with the shading. You can do the arrow route, which I recommend, or all the shading, which tends to get a little messy. But in that case, find the overlap and then tell me where the solution is. Okay, that is 3.3, system of inequalities, graphing them. So your homework will be the 3.3 book assignment. Okay, it is a book assignment, so one thing to know there. Okay, here are your questions. If you go into the textbook and go under 3.3 lesson, 3.3 practice, you will find solutions right there as well. So keep in mind, just looking at the answers is not going to help. Make sure you work through the problem and check your answers afterwards. Other than that, have a good day.